You once learned to crawl, spoke your first words, and took your first uncertain steps. You explored an entire world that felt completely new, and yet today, you probably remember almost none of it. Your parents may tell you stories about your first birthday, the toys you loved, or the day you began to walk. You may have seen photographs and videos of these moments, but inside your own memory, the first years of your life remain strangely empty. Most adults can recall only a few isolated moments from before the age of 4. Everything that happened earlier seems to have disappeared behind an invisible wall. Scientists call this phenomenon infantile amnesia, or childhood amnesia. It describes our remarkable inability to consciously remember specific events from the earliest years of our lives. But this raises a fascinating question. Were these memories never created, or are they still hidden somewhere inside the brain? For a long time, researchers assumed that babies simply could not form real memories. Their brains were considered too immature to store detailed experiences in the same way as an adult brain. But babies clearly remember certain things. They recognize familiar faces, react differently to strangers, learn routines, and quickly discover which actions produce particular results. A baby may become excited when it sees a feeding bottle or calm down when hearing a familiar voice. These reactions show that memory begins developing long before a child can speak. Memory, however, is not a single system. The human brain stores different kinds of information in different ways. Procedural memory allows us to learn skills and habits, such as crawling, walking, or using a spoon. These abilities can remain with us even when we no longer remember the moment in which we first learned them. Semantic memory stores general knowledge about the world. A young child gradually learns what a dog is, what food tastes like, and which people belong to the family. Episodic memory is different. It allows us to mentally return to a specific experience, remembering where we were, what happened, and how the moment felt. These detailed personal experiences eventually become part of our autobiographical memory. Together, they create the story we tell ourselves about our own lives. One of the most important brain regions involved in episodic memory is the hippocampus. Located deep inside the brain, it helps connect sights, sounds, emotions, places, and people into a coherent memory. During infancy and early childhood, the hippocampus is still developing. Its connections with other parts of the brain are being built, reorganized, and strengthened at extraordinary speed. Recent research suggests that infants may already be able to encode individual experiences in the hippocampus. In brain imaging experiments, infants showed patterns of hippocampal activity that predicted whether they later recognized an image. This means the problem may not simply be that babies cannot create memories. Some early experiences may be recorded, but they may not remain accessible for very long. The young brain is one of the fastest changing structures in nature. New connections appear, old connections are reorganized, and entire networks are constantly adapting to new information. During early childhood, large numbers of new neurons are also produced in areas connected to memory. Research in animals suggests that this rapid growth may disrupt existing memory networks, making older experiences increasingly difficult to retrieve. Imagine writing information into a library while the building is still under construction. Shelves are moved, rooms are rebuilt, and the catalog system is repeatedly replaced. The books may once have been placed inside the library. But years later, finding the correct shelf could become almost impossible. Language may provide another important part of the explanation. Adults usually organize autobiographical memories using words, sentences, names, and stories. A small child experiences the world before possessing the language needed to describe it. A memory formed without words may later become difficult to access through an adult mind that searches for the past mainly through language. As children learn to speak, they also begin talking about previous experiences. Parents ask what happened at the playground, who was present, and how the child felt. These conversations help transform experiences into structured stories. Events that are repeatedly discussed may become easier to organize and remember for longer periods. The development of a stable sense of self may be equally important. Very young children do not yet understand themselves as the same person moving continuously through yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Over time, they begin to recognize themselves in mirrors, use words such as I and me, and understand that past events happened to them personally. Only then can individual experiences become part of a continuing life story. This may explain why our earliest memories often appear as brief images rather than complete scenes. A room, a face, a sound, or a feeling may survive without a clear beginning or ending. But even these memories are not always reliable. Each time we remember an event, the brain reconstructs it rather than playing it back like a perfect recording. Family stories, photographs, and videos can gradually become mixed with genuine recollections. A person may eventually feel certain that they remember an event when they are actually remembering the story they were told. Researchers studying children have discovered something even more surprising. Young children can sometimes describe events from their early lives that they are unable to remember only a few years later. The boundary of childhood amnesia therefore seems to move as we grow. Memories that are available at the age of 5 may already have faded by the age of 9. This suggests that forgetting our earliest years is not a single moment in which memories suddenly disappear. It is a gradual process in which early experiences become increasingly difficult to reach. Yet forgotten does not necessarily mean meaningless. Experiences from infancy can still influence emotional responses, relationships, preferences, and the way the brain learns about the world. A child may not consciously remember being comforted after crying. But repeated experiences of safety and care can still help shape expectations about other people. In the same way, learning to walk permanently changes the brain and body, even though the first successful step itself may be lost. Early life leaves traces that do not always take the form of a story we can consciously remember. Scientists still do not have one complete explanation for childhood amnesia. Brain development, rapid neural change, language, social interaction, and the emerging sense of self probably work together. Our earliest years may therefore not be an empty chapter. They may be more like a chapter written in a language that our adult mind can no longer fully read. Perhaps the baby we once were remembered far more than we imagined. The mystery is not only where those memories went, but whether some of them are still inside us, waiting behind a door we no longer know how to open. What is the earliest moment you believe you can remember, and how certain are you that it is truly your own memory? Subscribe to WunderAtlas World as we continue exploring the hidden mysteries of the human mind, science, history, and our extraordinary world. Until the next wonder.